you guys on all the pipes, give you some updates. Okay, so our 3-inch plus versus our 3.5. You can see the difference. 3-inch plus, 3.5. Big difference, guys. Big difference. Now you see why we did it. What happened was you just got bumped out of the 3-inch pipe too soon. So we wanted to go to 3.5 and yard drainage. It's more versatile. It does more things. You can put 2 3x4 downspouts on it. You can put 3 2x3 downspouts on it. This pipe is great. It's really versatile. Now it's available in 3 colors, and I'll tell you why. If you have a black leaf filter and you want to take this right up to the black leaf filter, we have it in virgin black. No recycled. We are not going to build any pipe here at French Drain Man out of recycled materials. We've researched it. We've done our research. We're satisfied. You give up too much. For as much work as it is to do a drain system, you don't need it failing because you used recycled materials. Trust me, guys, recycled materials fail. We prove it to you all the time. We show all the damaged pipe that we pull out of the ground, the collapsed pipe, the deflected pipe, the pipe that's cracked. You could see that it's not molded proper. The way the animals chew on the recycled pipe because it's so chewy, there's additives in it, and the animals, for whatever reason, just love it. Now, the 3.5-inch pipe is 50% less labor to put in than a 4-inch pipe. You see the corrugations? You see how narrow they are? Or short. They're not tall. So most corrugated pipes, if not all, they are really tall, and they're harder to install. You see how narrow this is or short this corrugated pipe is? The corrugated portion of it is short. We wanted to maximize our flow inside the pipe. We wanted to reduce the amount of work that it took to install a pipe. Yes, we had to engineer. So the engineers worked on this. You can see the different shapes right there. This is what the engineers told me. So the way a chicken sits on an egg and it don't crack, it don't break, and it has that shape. So this design is following that same type of structure. There's a reason why an egg is shaped the way it is. So check that out. And then we were able to gap a bigger gap between corrugations so that we can increase the flow in this pipe. All right, so let's give you some numbers so you can appreciate this pipe. This pipe on 1% slope, it will flow 52.1 gallons per minute. Now on 2% slope, and we can get it. We get 2% all the time. I know it's not available in areas that are really flat. I know some locations in Florida are terrible. You guys have no slope at all. But if we can grab 2% slope, which is easy to do in the Carolinas, a lot of places, Michigan, we can grab 2% a lot of times. You're looking at 73.6 gallons a minute out of this 3.5-inch pipe. Now again, if you got a white leaf filter, we got white virgin pipe. Black leaf filter, we got black virgin pipe, no recycled materials, and it's in our royal blue. All right, so we're getting a lot of questions about the white 3.5/8 slot. It's the same. When we're selling to contractors, these guys load up in the morning, and sometimes it's in the dark. If you got a far drive, you're getting started early in the morning. We want to make it easy. If they want to grab 3.5 and it's white, there's going to be no mistakes. The blue, when you're stocking 4-inch and 3.5, both in low light, they could look very similar. So in time, it might make sense for us to sell all the 3.5 in the white, but that's why you see it in our videos. We're contractors. We're not putting the white in. It's easy to load in the morning. We grab what we need for 3.5. We grab what we need for 4. We like to color code things, just like the fittings for the 3.5 are light blue. The fittings for the 4-inch pipe that we have are royal blue. So here's our 4-inch pipe. You can see this pipe right here flows more water than any other 4-inch pipe. How do we do that? Again, look how narrow this is. We reduced the height of the corrugations. They're narrow. And then we opened up the inside of the pipe. We wanted to make the claim that we flow more water than any other corrugated pipe on the market. We also wanted to compete with PVC. We wanted to make sure we could flow as much water as a 4-inch PVC pipe. So we accomplished that. This is our new formula. This is our new formula. That's the pipe that's opened right up. So people are asking, Why can't we get in a big box store just to make it convenient and easy? And I'm going to explain. Well, one, I'm just going to own it. I'm really bad at business, okay? Really bad. Because this pipe has 3 times the material. If you take a thin pipe from the big box store, it would take 3 of those melted down to make one of our extra heavy duty pipes. That is just bad business. That is bad business. If I wanted to compete, this pipe would have to be much thinner. Then I could compete, possibly get ourselves into a big box store situation. Guys, I'm terrible at business. I don't know what to say. I have a real hard time with those kinds of decisions. I just like quality. And I can't let that go. All right, same with our pop-up. Why can't this be in a big box store? All right, let's see. Well, this one doesn't take very much room up on the shelf. That's pretty appealing to a big box store. They only have so much shelf space. This one, well, heck, this one, it has at least 10 times the material. It's not 10 times the cost, but it takes up more room on the shelf. It has 10 times the material, and it's all virgin material. None of it's blown in filler. It has a really good UV protection in it, so it doesn't fade like this one had. Look at that. We took this out of a yard. Of course, they wanted us to replace it with one of ours. The grass kept growing over it. They ended up with some flooding issues, and you can see when they did have the grass just growing up here, and the sun was able to get to this portion of it, it faded. Not with ours. We got UV protection. We pay for all these extras, and it doesn't work for big box stores. Takes up too much space, costs double. Not, it's not triple, it's not quadruple, although it has 10 times the material, and it's virgin HDPE. This is a cheaper material. Now, I am not making any accusations, but I'll let you make your own decision. We don't have any blown-in filler. And what I mean by that is talcum powder and fiberglass are typically used as blown-in fillers to reduce costs. The fiberglass and the talcum powder is so much cheaper than, the plastic that companies blow that in to reduce the plastic. Now, you can typically tell when you look at it, it'll look like there's these lines through the material. You almost see these streaks, and that's what that is, guys. So you don't see that with ours. It's this way. It's so rich and deep. Look at that. It's just so pure. Look at these ribs for strength. That's why we can make the claim. You can drive a car over it. If you need a pop-up right next to your driveway, this is indestructible. So I'm bad at business, guys. 10 times more material. Takes up too much, shelf space. I mean, what was I thinking? I don't know what to tell you guys. I'm bad at business. So that's why we're not in a big box store, just to clear that up. So again, the 8-slot in white and royal blue and 3.5, same thickness. This does not come in heavy duty. This is only available in extra heavy duty. 8-slot in 2 colors, solid, available in 3 colors. All right, everybody, if you appreciate the videos that I'm putting up on YouTube, all the knowledge I'm dropping, and all the products that we're bringing to the market, give me a thumbs up. It shows me you really appreciate what we're doing. I'm your host, Robert Sherwood, and until that next video.